good, peeps? I'm gonna record at this angle. In my opinion, it kind of covers a lot more of my face a bit better. But if you all say otherwise, if you prefer like you turn this sideways, then to each your own. I'm gonna tell y'all now. I'm not gonna really be looking at the camera as much as I normally do, and I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna say that I am not suicidal. Check this out. If that isn't a bunch of hell no, I don't know what is. So, anyways, I want to call this this particular video picking your battles, like when and when not to back down. So, this conversation has kind of been like covered, I guess, in my life for a period of like a bunch of years. I would say the most in-depth conversation I had when it comes to like when to back down, when to pick your battles, how to go about confrontation. I would say the most in-depth one was maybe 2013, back when I worked at McDonald's, with some of the co-workers I worked with. Now, I'm not going to give any names specifically, and ironically, I actually do remember a lot of their names, but nah. I mean, we can go based off the context. We don't really need. It doesn't really like help the conversation to give out the names. Anyways, I've been in a bunch of situations, and I understand that there's a difference between extroversion, introversion. There's also a difference between passive, assertive, and aggressive. But excuse me, almost like I gotta do that at least once a video. But I kind of noticed like I kind of progressed over the years. It was a period where I went from more of a passive person. Like I wasn't really about that confrontation. I was very introverted, shy, things of that nature. I mean, yeah. So over time, as I've kind of like allowed myself to grow, allowed myself to, I guess, like open the wings, the horizons, or whatever. I found myself getting a lot, like I guess, closer to who I want to become. More confrontational, more direct, more fearless. And I was perfectly okay with the consequences, whether it was good or bad. Like being able to acknowledge that it's more of the principles, more of the premise, it's more of the initiative rather than the conclusion or how the consequence of what occurs. So I'll give an example of like I guess a time where I knew not to when I kind of evaluated that it wasn't a appropriate time to I guess confront the situation. I mean, it was like a long time ago. I think it was 2007. I was in the 8th grade, and long story short, it was a situation where there was a misinterpretation, but I was so shy and so indirect to the point that I basically was framed as liking this girl, and one of the most intimidating guys of all the grade or whatever. I was in class with him, and we pretty much found out. So dude was territorial or whatever, and pretty much like poked his fingers into my head. Now in the situation, I was like a bit afraid. I ain't gonna lie about that. I was like really afraid, but at the same time, part of me was ticked off. Like, this guy not only is doing it, but he's doing this like in front of other people's faces. Some people are laughing, some people are just kind of speechless, like I was. And looking back at it, I don't regret it. I seen this guy fight somebody, and one of the most like muscular teachers in the entire school was not able to pull this guy off. And the guy that this particular, I would say, quote unquote bully kind of dude. This guy like beat and drugged the guy so bad that I still don't know what his face looked like to this day. I only knew his nickname. So yeah, I was thinking I don't want to become the next victim, so I'm going to take this L. That was that situation. And it's been another situation where, somebody confronted me. It was I believe 2011. I was in 12th grade. Now I can't acknowledge that 2007 and 2011 is a good 4 years apart, and I've allowed myself to grow in ways that I probably couldn't imagine back in 2007. Anyways, so I was a bigger guy. He's not really a bully, but he kind of his I would say his frame kind of fits the same. It fits similar traits to what of the last guy, and he pretty much pushed me, and I kind of was like, whoa, what? I was a bit confused. I wasn't afraid. I was just confused and upset that this happened. Trying to confront or acknowledge where is it coming from and or why. So the guy pushed me. I'm wondering why. I found out who it was. I'm like, I don't want to assume. Let me make sure. Hey, what's your problem? What's up? The guy pushes me again. So when he pushed me again, I'm getting really annoyed. I'm like, okay. He called me on a bad day. I have a bunch of books in my hand, like books like stacked all the way up from like here to maybe like here. And I'm like, yeah, he would choose this particular day to do this. So me being small to him, I squeezed between some buses. I know he hangs out, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get 2 guys I know. I'm not even trying to fight them. If we're gonna fight, that's fine. We can fight off the school grounds where it doesn't affect my grade at least. And I pretty much confronted him. I found the guy, confronted him, and the dude had been, like, to my interpretation, every time I seen him, like, we had eye contact, he was just averted his eyes away, or he, like, literally shook, like freaking, like, afraid kind of thing. I mean, if you want to say you got a twitch, I don't know. I don't really care. It's in the past. So, anyways, I pretty much confronted him. The guy the dude had a friend with him. I confronted his friend before I even spoke to the guy I wanted to talk to. I pretty much let him know what happened. Hey, your homeboy pushed me. I don't like it. I'm here to talk to him. We about to get this handled today. So, confronted him, and I mean, that's how it go. So, in my opinion, just because you confront somebody doesn't mean you're going to fight them. Like, it's been another situation where one of my bros got confronted, and I call it street rules. Like, it's not something it's probably not written in a book. But if someone tries to, like, dominate over you, if someone tries to assert their dominance, or in other words, someone tries to intimidate or threaten you for whatever reason, you don't say anything, you're acknowledging that they got away with it. Or in other words, you're acknowledging that they're holding fear over you, and in some light they can somewhat control you. I don't like the idea of being controlled unless I choose to. So I was like, nah, definitely not the way to go. So confronted the guy, and he freaking shook our hand and gave my bro a public apology. So, I mean, it doesn't always end the way we may think it in. But if it ever comes down to where you actually got to throw them hands, it is what it is. I mean, in my opinion, it's almost always better in many situations to just have a fist fight as a way of acknowledging that, hey, you can bleed just like the rest of us, and you're not going to get a free ride off me. And simultaneously, it sets the standard to know that, hey, not anybody can just approach this person to get what they want. Is it worth it? Is fighting this individual and risking my safety worth whatever I'm trying to get out of there? And then there's still a possibility I can lose. Many cases, it would probably be a no. So, yeah, that's pretty much the conclusion of this topic. I mean, it's simple and as, I guess, long as this video has been thus far. I mean, I say all of that to say, never let anybody, like, get something for free out of you unless you choose for them to, or unless you find it fair or righteous for it to occur. But, I mean, otherwise, it's very likely that you're born with similar, if not the same things that they have. I mean, pick your battles. Some battles are just not meant for you to fight. It's a lot more, like, loss margin than there is for you to profit off of it. Even if it possibly is a respect, you just be rational, be safe, and whatever comes best. A lot of martial arts experts say just because you have an expertise doesn't mean the best option of running is off the table. If you can run, if you can avoid the problem in a way that that it doesn't come back to hunt you, I mean, go for it. And to each your own. But similar to this topic is, again, the topic that I guess we talked about today is when to pick your battles. Or in other words, like, never backing down. And this is your boy, PsychoTutor. Everybody, take it easy. Every day is a good day. Peace.